haven't done one of these for a while, so I thought I would sit down and have a chat with you. This is going to be the first of a series of videos on Penny Plans Disney. I have got loads of Disneyland Paris planning hints and tips coming up. I'm in a couple of videos, and I'm going to do some Walt Disney World planning as well, because I've got 2 trips planned this year, one in the spring and one in the autumn, so there'll be lots of planning stuff going on. So what I thought I'd do with this first video is answer some questions. I have had a lot of people asking me questions, planning questions, friends and family who are going, who've been asking for advice around all different aspects of booking and planning a Walt Disney World trip. I'm here because hopefully they'll be helpful for people who are planning their own trips. So, in no particular order, here we go. My Disney Experience is the online tool that Disney have created for reservations, tickets, dining, Fastpasses. It basically links the whole of your Walt Disney World experience into one place. So the first thing you need is you need to go onto the Disney website and you need to click on My Disney Experience and you need to create an account. If you have a Disney Store ID, you already log in and buy stuff on the Disney Store. When you put in your email address, you'll need to put in your same password because the account is the same. It's all linked on one. Once you've gone in, you can then go in and you set up all of your account. You put in your details, your age, you can pick a character. And then you can start adding things to your reservations. So once you've booked a hotel, you can put in your reservation number and it will link your stay. Now this is useful for booking Fastpasses and dining, because if you're staying in a Disney hotel, you can book your Fastpasses 60 days out rather than 30, and you can also book dining for your first day at 180 days from that first day, plus you can book an additional 10 days, and these things aren't open to off-site guests, so having your reservation in there is really, really helpful because it allows you to do that. If you don't have a hotel reservation, that's fine. You can still link your tickets and you can make Fastpasses and dining reservations. In fact, you don't actually need a valid ticket to make dining reservations. You just need to make sure that you have a valid ticket for the park where the restaurant is when you actually go to the reservation. All ticket reservations will come with a ticket reference number, and you type this reference number in and you register your tickets, link them to your account. If you have an actual hard copy ticket, then there's a ticket number on the back that you can enter in and that will register. And if you have a magic band, you can link your magic band as well. So to link a magic band, you need to look on the inside of the band, and then there is a number just on the inside there that you can type in. Now these are the old style magic bands, but the new magic bands are exactly the same. They have the number on the inside so that you can type them in and link them to your account. That leads on to another common question, which is which Fastpasses should I book for which park? Now this is going to depend on your group, your parks, the time of year you're going, so there isn't really a right or wrong answer. The right answer really is the things that you want to do and you wouldn't want to leave Disney World without doing. So for example, if you've decided you absolutely must do Splash Mountain, book a Fastpass for Splash Mountain. There's no rules, there's no tricks, there's nothing around it. Fastpasses will help you get through the ride quicker. It doesn't mean that you have to pick the right ride. The right ride is what you want to do. In terms of Fastpasses that sell out really quickly or fill up really quickly, in the Magic Kingdom it's Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and then Splash Mountain, Space Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, followed by Buzz Lightyear. In Epcot it's going to be Test Track and Soarin', because you can only pick one on each of your 2 days, because it's a tiered park, so you can pick either Test Track or Soarin', and then you can pick other rides. In Hollywood Studios, again, they've got tiers, so you can pick Toy Story Mania or Rock and Roller Coaster. So I would pick Toy Story Mania, because they go like crazy, they go really quickly. And Rock and Roller Coaster has a single rider line, so if you don't mind doing that, then you can fast pass Toy Story and you can do the single rider on Rock and Roller Coaster. For Animal Kingdom, I would say always Kali River Rapids, because the queues get really, really long for that. Expedition Everest, if you go early or you do the single rider line, there won't be much of a queue. And the safaris often get very, very long queues as well, so it's always a good idea to get Fast Pass for the safaris. However, that's going to change with Rivers of Light, because I think for the first few months, maybe a year or so, the best way to see Rivers of Light is either going to be to get a dining package or a fast pass, so that you don't have to wait outside for ages and ages like you do with Fantasmic. Get a fast pass for it and then you can go in. So how do you book dining? You can call up, you can ring 407 WDW Dine, or you can go on through My Disney Experience, which is really, really easy. Reservations open up at 7 AM Florida time, and you just pick your time, pick your restaurant, and you can book it and away you go. You do need a credit card linked on your account. The credit card is just for a holding, so if you don't turn up to your reservation, or you don't cancel it within 24 hours of the reservation, they will charge $10 per person for that reservation. Now, one of the most common problems with My Disney Experience is the app. The app is very, very temperamental, and a lot of the times if something's not working, or it's saying that you haven't got tickets linked, or that you don't have the, you're not within your window to book your fast passes, or perhaps it says you've used all of your 3 fast passes for the day when you've only used 1. The likelihood is that it's not a problem with you, it's actually the app. It gets very, very temperamental, and a couple of times I've actually had to uninstall it and reinstall it to get it to work properly. My advice for that is, if you're having problems with My Disney Experience on an app, log in on a laptop. It is way, way better than using it on the app. When you're actually there and you're on the go, the app works mostly for what you need, for checking your times, for checking wait times and stuff, for booking stuff, sometimes linking tickets and things. Sometimes it can be a bit problematic on the app. We're talking about magic bands. One of the questions I've been asked quite a lot is, do I need to get a magic band? No, you don't. If you stay in a Disney hotel, you'll get one for free automatically, but if you're staying off-site, you don't need one. I love them, I think they're brilliant. I'm excited to see the new ones. It saves you having to keep going back in and out of your bag constantly, trying to find your ticket twice when you need to do a fast pass. They'll check it for dining reservations, and going in and out of the park is so much easier. They range from about $10 to $30, so you could just buy one of the cheap plain coloured ones, and that will do you for everything. Another question is, how long do magic bands last? The RFID in them, the long distance stuff, is supposed to last 2 to 3 years. The actual touch life of the band is supposed to be much longer than that. So if you want to buy one this trip, because you're going again in another trip, you don't need to buy another magic band, you can use the same one. So another key question is, should I stay on site or should I stay off site? And again, that's a question that is down to you, your group, when you're going, what you want to do and what kind of holiday you want. Personally, I prefer to stay off site. I find it's cheaper, and I like the whole experience of staying in Florida and coming out of that Disney bubble. For other people, being in that Disney bubble is the whole point of the holiday, so a Disney resort would be more beneficial. You also have the driving aspect. If you don't drive, or you don't want to drive in the States, then stay in a Disney resort and you don't need to worry about transportation because you've got all the buses for free. Off-site hotels do offer shuttles, but a lot of them do charge, and a lot of them have very limited drop-off points. So if not driving is a big thing for you, then potentially a Disney resort is a better way to go. If you want to see a bit more of Florida and you want to be a bit more adventurous and go out and see stuff outside of the Disney bubble, then I would recommend that you stay off-site. Driving, I love it. I love driving in the States. I wouldn't say I love driving here. I don't mind it, but on holiday I really enjoy it. It's very easy. It's straight roads, it's stop-start, it's traffic lights. Your hire car is going to be automatic, so you don't need to worry about changing gear with the wrong hand. Another thing to factor in might be your budget and what type of tickets you have. So for me, I have an annual pass, so I don't need to worry about park tickets, and I also don't eat a lot, so I'm not concerned about the dining plan. So for me, to book off-site is about half price of what I would pay to stay on-site, and the benefits that I would get from on-site are negligible compared to the benefits I get from staying off-site. So it's much, much cheaper for me, and I get a better room for my money than I would if I was staying in a Disney hotel. So personally, I prefer off-site. If you want to stay on-site, if you need your park tickets and you want the dining package included, it's absolutely perfect. It's the best way to go because you get all of that included in your package. Now that leads on to, should I get the dining plan? And again, that's another do you want to get the dining plan, basically. There's various different versions of the dining plan, and I think they vary depending on what level of hotel you're staying at. I've looked into it previously on previous trips, but I've never actually used it. I know people that have, so I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail about the dining plan because I haven't had first-hand experience of it. But you get a certain amount of credits towards the number of meals per day. So what you need to think when you're thinking about the dining plan is you need to look at the plan that you're looking at. You need to work out, am I going to be able to have that many meals and that many snacks per day per my trip? If the answer is no, then the dining plan isn't worth it for you. For me, I know that I can't eat a table service meal every single day, even if it's free, because that's a lot of food for me, and in the Florida heat I find I don't eat that much. I'll have a breakfast or I'll have cereal in the hotel room, then maybe I'll have an ice cream or I don't know, some other kind of snack for lunch, and then I won't need to eat again until the evening because the heat is just too much for me to eat a lot. Whereas other people go 100% just for the food, so the dining is really, really important. So the only thing that I would recommend is look at the package that you're considering, work out how many meals that would be per day and what type of meals, and then look at your plans for each day and work out, can you fit in that many table service meals, bearing in mind that you're looking at roughly 2 hours out of your park day for every table service meal. Are you going to eat that many quick service meals? Are you going to eat that many snacks? If you're staying off site, you don't get the Disney plan, but also if you're planning to go to any non-Disney parks like Universal or SeaWorld whilst you're staying at the Disney Hotel, you'll need to really cram in your meals in the other days to make sure that you get your money's worth. So I'm a big advocate of spreadsheets and planning. I would recommend for the dining plan you're planning to get, make a spreadsheet, how many table service, how many quick service, how many snacks, how many days are you going for, what restaurants do you want to go for, and then work it out that way. For me, I don't eat that much, I eat a lot. I do like food and I will eat as much as I can. If you've seen my food and wine, then you know that I eat a lot. But I couldn't eat enough to justify getting the dining plan, but it's entirely up to you. Another question is, what restaurants should I go to? There are hundreds and hundreds of restaurants in Walt Disney World. There's several in most of the resorts, there's loads in each of the parks, and then you've got downtown Disney as well. So what you really need to think is, what type of food do I want? What type of experience am I looking for? Do I want something that's quick so I don't lose park time? Do I want part of that dining experience? Do I want really themed, or do I want signature? Because there is all of those types of things available in Walt Disney World. For me, in Magic Kingdom, I love Cosmic Rays, which is a quick service. I also love Pico Bills, which is a quick service. And the Skipper's Canteen, I really, really like that as well. And for breakfast, I can't fault Be Our Guest. In Epcot, I love all of the restaurants in Mexico because I really love Mexican food. Teppan Edo in Japan is brilliant, I love that too. But then you've also got Sunshine Seasons at the Land, which is a quick service, counter service restaurant, which is, again, the food is just absolutely lovely in there as well. Hollywood Studios, the Studio and Catering Company, which is the one round the back of Indiana Jones, down near Star Tours. I like that as well. That's your just standard chicken nuggets and stuff. And then along Hollywood Boulevard, can't even remember what it's called now, something fair. Any of those booths along there do massive portions of really, really good food too. Animal Kingdom, Yak and Yeti quick service, and new, the Harambe Market is very, very good. Their curry was absolutely delicious and it's a really good portion as well. If you're looking for character dining and it's your first trip, I would recommend Chef Mickey's because that has the classic characters. The only thing you need to bear in mind is it's not for everyone. It is very loud and it is very busy and there are lots of children running around, so if that's not your thing, then perhaps you want to look somewhere like Tusker House, which is again a buffet breakfast, but it's slightly quieter, and you will probably see Donald, Minnie, Daisy and Goofy. Crystal Palace, if you want to see the Winnie the Pooh characters, is also very, very good, and one of my all-time favourites is the Garden Grill, which is Mickey, Pluto, Chip and Dale. That is family style, so they bring you the food to the table, but it is as much as you care to eat. It's meats, gravies, vegetables, potatoes, traditional like family style roast dinner, and that is very, very good, and that's inside the land, which revolves as well, so I highly recommend that one for character dining. Whilst we're talking about food, and people have asked, can you take snacks into the parks? Yes, you can. One trip I went, I was on a budget. I hardly bought any of my meals in the parks at all. I went to Walmart, I bought some bagels, I bought some cheese and some ham, and I had a ham and cheese bagel every single day for lunch in the park. Food is expensive. You need to be prepared for that. But yeah, you can take in any snacks you want. I've been asked, can I take my own drinks into the park? Yes, you can. It's about $3 for a bottle of Coke. I wouldn't recommend drinking Coke all day because it does dehydrate you. The best thing to drink is water. There are water fountains in the parks and you can't walk far without seeing one. If you really can't find one, there should be one at the entrance to every restaurant. Those are totally free, and you can also go into any quick service restaurant and you can ask for a cup of iced water, and again, that is totally free. When thinking about buying tickets, the thing you need to bear in mind is UK tickets are a brilliant deal. They do 7, 14 or 21 days, and a lot of the time the 14-day ticket is the price of the 7-day ticket, so you get 14 days for the price of 7. People have said to me, well, I only want to go for 4 days, I'm doing a day in each park. It's not worth me buying a 7-day ticket. Yes, it is. A 4-day pass, when you buy it in the States, is more expensive than the UK 7-day ticket. Just make sure that you buy them before you go, because you will save a lot of money. Even if you don't use all of your 7, 14 or 21 days, you will save money. Also, with all UK tickets at the moment, you get Memory Maker included. PhotoPass is all of the character photographs, any photographs basically that are taken by the professional photographers that they have. And with Memory Maker you also get your ride photos, and you get all of what they call the magic shots, where they put characters into your photographs. So again, the UK tickets are worth buying because you get those included. Thinking about travelling, in terms of luggage, that's going to vary from airline to airline, but it's usually either 23 kilos is the standard for economy, and I think 32 for premium economy. But make sure you check when you book with your airline. It will depend as well who you book with and what type of seat you book as to whether you're allowed 1 or 2 suitcases plus hand luggage. I'm flying with Virgin for this trip, and I can take 1 item of hand luggage which has to be less than I think 10 kilos, and 1 suitcase which can be 23 kilos or below. I got a really handy hook that when you hang your suitcase, or when you lift your suitcase from it, you have to hold it for a little while, so you might need a strong person to help you. But it'll actually tell you how heavy your case is, and I take it with me to make sure that all the shopping I've bought hasn't made my suitcase too heavy. So that kind of leads on to, what do I do on my first day? I'm going to be landing at 3 o'clock, so I'm going to go and see everything when I arrive. What you need to bear in mind is that they are 5 hours behind us. It will take you between an hour and a half to 2.5 hours to get through the airport. And then if you're taking Disney's Magical Express to a Disney hotel, you could be waiting another half an hour, 45 minutes before you get on your bus. So it might be that you're not getting to your hotel until maybe 8 or 9 p.m. Florida time. Just think about what you're capable of doing normally at 2 o'clock in the morning when you've been awake for 20 hours. I would recommend, if you feel up to it, then Disney Springs, grab a bite to eat, soak up the atmosphere, and just hang out and chill is probably the best thing to do. If you watch my October travel day video from last year, you'll see that I was wandering around Disney Springs and I was completely delirious because I had no idea what was going on. I was exhausted. Because you're going to wake up really early. You'll probably wake up between 4 and 6 a.m. because you'll be jet lagged, so you'll be up really early. So I find the first morning is the perfect time for character dining, getting to the parks early, going to the Magic Kingdom and seeing the welcome show. That's always a good thing to do on the first day, so don't ruin that by staying up too late on the night you arrive so that you're too tired to do something on your first full day. I've also been asked about last day plan. Whilst I recommend on your first full day you get there as early as you can because you'll be awake from the jet lag, get to the park opening, see rope drop and all that sort of stuff. On the last day I prefer to take it a bit more easy, so wake up a bit later. If you fly with Virgin Holidays you can check in at Disney Springs, which I think is between 8 and 10:30. You can take your luggage to the Cirque du Soleil area and they will check you in there. So literally all you have to do when you get to the airport is go through to security and go to the gate. This fits really well with our last day plans. I don't know how it became a tradition, but certainly in recent years the plan for the last day has always been go to Typhoon Lagoon. That plays in nicely with the Downtown Disney check-in because it's literally right across the street, so you just drive across the junction and you're at Typhoon Lagoon. Relax, unwind, it's the last day of the holiday, you'll be exhausted because you've done so much, and just float around in the lazy river, which for me is the best way to finish off the holiday. Now you might not agree, you might decide that you've got one park that you absolutely loved and you desperately want to go back to it one more time. That's fine, there are no hard and fast rules for what you do on any of your days, but the last one is certainly no exception. Do what you want to do, but for me, I just like relaxing and just doing what you want to do and having fun. You'll need to be at the airport between sort of 2 and 4, I think, depending on what time your flight is going to be. So don't plan late meals or long days, but you'll certainly still get lots of stuff done during that last day. Another thing I get asked is, what should I wear? And again, that's wear what you feel comfortable in. I like to wear as little as possible in the best sense of the way. I like to wear little tops and little shorts or skirts or dresses because in the heat I don't like clothes touching me. I get hot and bothered if I've got too many clothes on. Even for me, wearing a t-shirt with sleeves is quite hot. I like to have my skin exposed to the air so at least you can feel the breeze or the air conditioning or whatever. Other people don't like having everything exposed and prefer to have everything covered. So it's really going to depend on how you manage in the heat. If you get very, very hot wearing lots of clothes, then I suggest wearing less clothing. If you find that you burn a lot or you get sunstroke or you suffer in the heat, you're probably better off wearing lightweight and loose fitting clothing. Cottons and linens are the way to go. Stay away from the polyester, stay away from anything that's going to make you sweat. Just the one thing to remember is you're going to be climbing in and out of rides, you're going to be walking long distances, so you need something that's going to be comfortable but also practical. You're not going to be able to get on the carousel if you're wearing a mini skirt because you'll be flashing the world everything. Same goes for shoes. I like lightweight plimsolls. I can't wear flip-flops for very long, maybe half an hour before I get blisters in between my toes. Other people wear nothing but flip-flops, so it's going to be down to you. I've got a really high instep, so I need insoles in my shoes to support my arch in my foot. Other people can wear Crocs or flip-flops or whatever. The only thing I would recommend is if you are going to wear trainers and socks or shoes and socks, is when you go on Carly River Rapids or the wet rides at Islands of Adventure, you are better off taking your shoes and socks off and slipping on a pair of cheap lightweight flip-flops, because once you've got soggy socks, it's not nice. And the same if it's going to rain a lot, if you go during the rainy season, again, pack a really cheap pair of lightweight plasticky flip-flops, so while it's raining you can slip your flip-flops on, splash around in the water, and then as soon as it will start drying instantly anyway. You can put your socks and shoes back on and it will just save you squelching around in squidgy socks the whole time. So there you have it. Those are the most frequently asked questions that I have been asked by people who have been planning their Walt Disney World holidays. I'm going to do another Q&A in the future. So if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below, or message me at pennyk_ on Twitter and use the hashtag pennyplansdisneyqa, and I will try and answer as many of your questions as possible in the next video. Keep an eye out for other Penny Plans Disney videos, because there will be lots of Walt Disney World and Disneyland planning videos, review videos, hotels, restaurants and all that sort of stuff coming up soon.